chance, this is the moment you've waited for. You've been searching in the dark, your sweat soaking through the floor. And buried in your bones, there's an ache that you can't ignore. Taking your breath, stealing your mind, and all that was real is...
As with the end of every season, the graduation of a senior class and the influx of new players brought plenty of change and energy to the program. The 2016-2017 Northview Wildcats lost 8 seniors to graduation. However, 19 new faces would show up for tryouts, including 10 freshmen, as both the varsity and JV squads underwent significant changes. Freshmen David Crandall, sophomores Jimmy Roberts, Jeffrey Wood, Justin Beaverson, juniors Noah Kercheval, Tyler Frederick, Justin Baden, Teddy Boogert, Alex Miller, and senior netminder Tyler Beatty all joined the varsity, while Ed Lamey, Maisie Crandall, Justin Morozek, and Brandon Clark were named captains and assumed the leadership roles. After a summer filled with hard work both on and off the ice, highlighted by the annual trip over to Kent State, the Cats were prepared for battle both in the Northwest Ohio Hockey Conference and a tough out-of-conference schedule as well. Hi, I'm Coach Jones. Join me as we look back on the 2017-2018 Northview Wildcats. Preseason started well as the Cats picked up 3 wins over Walsh Jesuit, Upper Arlington, and a perennial power traveling in from San Diego. Oddly enough, the Cats kicked off the regular season with an open weekend out-of-conference game with Rocky River. The momentum from the preseason didn't carry over, as a penalty-filled game led to a disappointing start to the season and a 3-1 loss. Senior Brett Blasingham's goal was a lone bright spot for the Cats. The annual Cold Turkey Tournament was next, and the Cats' offense again was slowed. 1 goal each at St. Andrews and Gilmore Academy led to an 0-3 start for Northview. Seniors Cameron Hall and Justin Morozek scored, but it wasn't enough as Northview was searching for their first win. Perennial state power, St. Edwards was next, and the offense found its footing. Morozek had a pair, juniors Jake Ruley and Trevor Klee each scored, and freshman David Crandall scored his first career goal to spark the offense in a 5-3 win. Mason Snyder picked up the victory, and the Cats finally secured their first win of the season. Unfortunately, the momentum didn't last long in an ugly defeat to St. Francis the next morning. Get out of bed, fellas! Trevor Klee scored the only goal in the lopsided affair. Northwest Ohio Hockey Conference play kicked off the following weekend, and the Cats were again on the wrong side of the scoreboard versus the Knights. Sophomore Jeffrey Wood's career first was the lone bright spot on this evening, as the Cats fell to 1-4. With the addition of so many new faces, the Cats were looking for some chemistry the following evening versus St. John's. Sometimes that chemistry comes in the form of strong defense and excellent goaltending. Senior netminder Mason Snyder took it upon himself and stopped all 25 shots, including 13 in a dazzling third period to set the stage for Justin Morozek, who scored the game-winning goal with just over a minute left to spark the Cats to a 1-0 win. The Cats kept that momentum going the following weekend as they welcomed St. Ignatius into Tamo. They also welcomed junior Justin Baden back from injury, who helped them skate past Iggy with a 3-1 win. David Crandall scored a pair, and junior Alex Miller got his first, while Snyder continued his strong play in the nets. Northview pushed the win streak to 3 in a row with a 6-1 win over Findlay the following evening. Jeffrey Wood opened the scoring in the first period. Findlay tied it early in the third before the Cats exploded for 5 third-period goals to skate away from the Trojans. Ruley, Morozek, Blasingham, David Crandall, and Brandon Clark all scored in the win, as senior Tyler Beatty was excellent in stopping 24 of the 25 he faced. The Cats would kick off the holiday season with the first of 2 trips to Cleveland for the Padua Invitational. Always a good measuring stick for the midway point of the season, the Cats looked to keep their recent strong play going as they opened with Holy Name. Snyder picked up his second shutout of the season in a 4-0 win. David Crandall and Justin Morozek each had 3 points, and junior Noah Kercheval scored his career first. Sophomore Jimmy Roberts and Justin Beaverson's steady improving play helped solidify the defense. Upper Arlington was next, and the train kept rolling in an 8-3 win. 5 first-period goals blew it open for Northview as 8 different players scored. Senior Larry Maurer and junior Teddy Bugart each scored their first, while Wood, David, Clark, Morozic, Miller, and Klee also chipped in. Beatty stopped 21 in the net for the win. The Cats pushed the win streak to 6 that evening with a 5-3 decision over good old St. Ed's. Teddy Bugart started to find his stride with a pair of goals, and Alex Miller, Brett Blasingham, and David Crandall also scored to back Snyder for the win. All was not well, however, as junior standout defenseman Trevor Klee was lost to what would be a season-ending knee injury near the end of the second period, which would highly alter the look of the team moving forward. The third round-robin win put the Cats into the championship game of the Elite Tournament, where they would face number 1 state-ranked powerhouse St. Ignatius Prep. Northview would play excellent once again and create a number of quality scoring chances. Unfortunately, it was not meant to be on this day, as Iggy scored 1 time each in the first period, second period, and third period to skate away with the championship and a 3-0 win. Following the Christmas holiday, the Cats headed back to Cleveland for the Walsh Jesuit Warrior Invitational in Kent State. The Cats got back to their winning ways with a 4-2 win over Columbus St. Charles. Sophomore Jimmy Roberts scored his first 2 career goals, including the game winner, and Morozak and Teddy Bugart also scored, while junior Tyler Frederick, Noah Kercheval, and Jake Ruley stepped up with strong efforts to fill the minutes lost with the injury to Klee. The following morning, the Cats came up short once again against Rocky River, 3-0. A defensive struggle saw the two teams combine for just 32 shots on goal. That evening, Northview took on Dublin Jerome in the final round-robin game. A good back-and-forth battle saw the teams trade leads, only to settle on a 3-3 tie. The Justins got involved in this one, Beaverson and Baden that is, as they both got their first, and Teddy Bugart continued his surge to provide the offense. The following morning, the Cats once again took on Jerome in a consolation game. Northview controlled most of the game and outshot Jerome 28-22, but goals from Morozek and Kercheval were not enough in a 3-2 loss. After a much-needed break to spend time with family and friends for the New Year's, the Cats met up with Bedford Mules for a Thursday affair at Tam O'Shanter. After shaking off the rust, the Cats were able to putt the pesky Mules away with the game's final 3 goals and a 4-2 win. Morozic scored a pair of goals, and Baden and David Crandall also chipped in. Senior Maisie Crandall played another strong defensive checking game and also chipped in with an assist as Tyler Frederick had a pair. Tyler Beatty was very solid to earn the win in the net. The Cats traveled to BG that Saturday and were on the wrong side of a shootout with the Bobcats 6-5. Team defense failed the Cats, and goals from Clark, Morozic, Kercheval, and Beaverson, and the season's first from senior Brennan Otterson was not enough on this night. The following weekend, the Cats headed to Meadville, Pennsylvania for the Bulldog Invitational. The Cats came out strong in the opener against Pennsylvania Erie Prep. However, a 4-minute nap at the end of the second period cost them in a 5-2 loss. Baden continued his scoring touch, and Morozic also scored in the loss. Scoring was at a premium the following morning versus St. Ignatius. Tyler Beatty was an excellent, but unfortunately, the Cats weren't able to find the back of the net in a 1-0 loss. That evening, the Cats would face Medina. Seniors Brandon Clark and Brett Blasingham, Justin Morozak, along with fellow senior Mason Snyder, step up to end the losing streak in a 3-1 win. The Cats would wrap up round-robin play with Pittsburgh Bethel Park. Junior Alex Miller scored in a hard-fought 1-1 tie, as Beatty was stingy in the cage once again. That evening, the Cats would square off with Iggy in a consolation matchup. Another close game saw the Cats come out on top this time. Brett Blasingham scored to open the period. Senior captain Ed Lamy finished off a gorgeous play from his good friend Brennan O for a 2-1 lead, only to see Iggy tie it to send the game to extra innings. It didn't take the Cats long in that frame before Brennan Clark hit the game winner off a nice play from Morozic and Crandall to seal a 3-2 win. Snyder picked up the victory in the Cats' net, and they felt good leaving that city. Northview traveled to Findlay the following weekend for a thrilling game against the Trojans. Justin Morozic scored less than 30 seconds after a Findlay goal to tie the game 1-1 at the end of 2. It would stay that way until late in the game when the Trojans seemed to take one from the Cats after being outplayed with a goal 51 seconds left on the clock. However, the Cats would not let this effort slip away for naught. With the goalie pulled for an extra attacker, the Cats executed to perfection on a face-off play. Clark won a clean draw to Tyler Frederick, who found freshman David Crandall for a one-time goal to tie it with just 7 seconds left in regulation. Clark then hit the game winner just over 2 minutes into the extra frame as the Cats stole the game back in with his much-deserved 3-2 win. Amazing. The Cats looked to carry that momentum over the following evening versus St. Francis. Northview had lost ugly 2 times early in the season and hoped to show how much they'd improved. While they proved to everyone they could play with the number 2 state-ranked Knights, they ultimately fell 3-0. The Cats welcomed Lakeshore St. Joseph into Tam O'Shanter for a non-league Sunday morning tilt in the 3rd game in 3 days. The Cats didn't look a bit tired as they jumped all over the Warriors en route to a 7-1 win. Morozic and Baden scored a pair of goals, and Jeffrey Wood capped off the scoring with a beautiful assist from seniors Maisie Crandall and Cameron Hall. Alex Miller also found the net, and junior Jake Ruley, who selfishly sacrificed a spot on the forward unit to help solidify the defense, was rewarded with a nice power play goal. Beatty picked up the win, giving up just the lone goal. The Cats would head to their final out-of-town tournament the following weekend at the University of Notre Dame. They seemed to be in control of the first game with Culver Academy as Jeffrey Wood and senior Larry Maurer scored. However, Culver scored 5 unanswered to take a 5-2 lead. Northview responded as Morozic and David Crandall scored, but they ran out of time in a 4-5 defeat. York High School out of Illinois was up next, and another hard-fought battle went against the Cats. Justin Morozic's shorthanded effort was not enough in a 2-1 loss. The Cats wrapped up the tournament with a win over Lakeshore St. Joseph. Miller, Morozic, David Crandall, and Clark paced the offense while Beatty picked up the win in the nets in a 4-3 victory. Northview returned to Tamo the following weekend to wrap up league play. The St. John's Titans were up first, and these 2 teams were very evenly matched. David Crandall opened the scoring for Northview with a first-period goal. The Titans, however, seized momentum with a 3-goal second period, including 2 in the final 2:35 for a 3-1 lead after 2. Brandon Clark scored early in the 3rd, and the Cats dominated play with 12 shots on goal, but weren't able to find the equalizer in a 3-2 loss. The Cats welcomed BG into town the following night. They also welcomed senior Jake Pies into the lineup on senior night. As they had the last year, the Cats were electric and played their best with their senior class on the line. Everyone got in the act in the 9-1 thumping of the Bobcats. On a crazy night that saw the Bobcat goalie get sent to the box, the Cats capped off an amazing evening as Pisa scored the game's final goal for an electrical and emotional event. Tyler Frederick played his finest game with a pair of goals. David Crandall had a pair, and Clark, Ruley, and Wood. Senior captain Ed Lamy also found the net. Incredible. With an off week, the start of the state playoffs, the team along with the senior dads spent a day together for team bonding, dinner, and to catch an exciting walleye game. The state tournament was next, and the Cats would enter as the number 2 ranked team in the Sylvania District and receive a bye into the second round. Their opponent was the Bowling Green Bobcats. After splitting with BG during the regular season, the Cats looked to prove that the score from senior night was no fluke. Senior Brandon Clark was determined to make sure his game would not be the last. After a scoreless first period, the senior captain kick-started the offense with a pair of goals just 2 minutes apart to propel the Cats to a convincing 5-0 shutout win. Senior Mason Snyder showed why he was recognized as the second-team All-League performer as he shut down the BG scoring opportunities en route to his 3rd shutout of the season. Teddy Boogert scored, as did Justin Morozak and David Crandall, while solid team defense was on full display right to the end as Maisie Crandall sacrificed her body as she had all year long to block 2 shots in the final 10 seconds to help preserve the shutout. The win put the Cats into the district semifinals, where they would square off against longtime rivals St. John's. The 2 teams couldn't have been much closer. Both sported excellent senior goaltending and overall defense, but had also struggled at times to find the net. After trying for second place in the league and splitting their 2 games with both teams scoring 3 goals, they met as the number 2 and 3 seeded teams. This game would be no different and become an instant classic in the meantime. Like boxers, the 2 teams traded punches for 3 periods, with both teams generating scoring opportunities and momentum, only to be denied by Titans goaltender Cole Kester and the Cats' Mason Snyder. At the end of 45 minutes, the teams had decided nothing, and the game headed to sudden death. Overtime would be quick for the Cats, unfortunately, and this time it was heartbreaking. Just a few minutes into the overtime, Kester caught Northview on a line change to send his team in on a 3-on-1 that resulted in the game-winning goal. Final score, St. John's 1, Northview 0. Just like that, it was over. The thrills and cheers from the Northview faithful were replaced with sadness and disbelief. As the players came to grips with the end of the season, they also had to expect the loss of not only a game, but the loss of 11 seniors to graduation. Senior Jake Pisa came to the program for just a year, but provided the leadership and faith that will be felt in the program for years to come. Brennan Otterson's ability to create highlight reel goals, Cameron Hall and his willingness to compete day in and day out, Brett Blasingham's big shot and bigger personality, Tyler Beatty's passion for his school and natural leadership quality, Larry Maurer's willingness to play anywhere to help his team, Edward Lamey's strength and character and maturity, Mason Snyder's security in the net, Justin Morozic's diminutive yet dynamic play, Brandon Clark's steady influence on and off the ice will never be forgotten, and Maisie Crandall's uncanny ability to win over her coaches, teammates, and the respect of her opponents. U11 had another block in the foundation of building the program back to the top of the state. Congratulations, seniors, and congratulations, Wildcats. Introducing the 2017-2018 Northview Wildcats.
Years old, couple cane posts sitting down by the creek. Lines in the water, watching those bombers, seeing that red sun sink. Mama's on the porch yelling supper's hot, y'all come and get it. We yelled 5 more minutes. At 16 it was 12:03, standing at her front door. Katie's dad said midnight, but we needed just a little more. Yellow light flipping on and off, interrupting that good night kissing. We wanted 5 more minutes. Time rolls by, the clock don't stop. I wish I had a few more drops of the good stuff, the good times. Oh, but they just keep on flying right on by like it ain't nothing. I wish I had me a pause button. Moments like those, Lord knows I'd hit it and give myself 5 more minutes. At 18, turned my helmet in, walked to the 50-yard line. Just the coach and me after we lost 8-10-9. And I cried, man, next time to get in here I'll have to buy a ticket. Can't you give me 5 more minutes? Time rolls by, the clock don't stop. I wish I had a few more drops of the good stuff, the good times. Oh, but they just keep on flying right on by like it ain't nothing. I wish I had me a pause button. Moments like those, Lord knows I'd hit it and give myself 5 grandpa said, there's angels in the room. All the family gathered round, knew the time was coming soon. With so much left to say, I prayed, Lord, I ain't finished, just give us 5 more minutes. Time rolls by, the clock don't stop. I wish I had